Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sheila. Okay guys, in today's video I wanted to show you how to use a loom. This is a knitting loom. This is about a size small for if you want to make such things as a beanie, which is what I'm going to show you how to start today. We won't finish it, but at least I'll show you how to start one. Now with these sets, when you buy a full set of these at a craft store, they come in different sizes. They come with a little hook, and they also come with a needle, such as this. These needles are used for the finishing of the hat, and then for the loom knitting, you need the hook. So I'm going to show you today how to start one, and then in a later video, I'll show you how to close off at the end of a hat and how to make the little pom-pom if you choose to make one. So what I like to do when I get the yarn, I like to take this paper part off because I like to start the yarn with the outer piece. They usually have it like that. Now there is another piece that starts on the inside, which is this one. When you pull, it comes out from the center. I don't like using that because it tends to get tangled really easily. So I start with this outer one, which is all wrapped around it. So, I mean, you take whichever one you prefer, but that's the one I prefer because I have less of a problem with the yarn getting tangled up. So you're going to take your yarn, and this little part right here is what you're going to tie around temporarily, so it's not going to be a tight knot, it's just going to be a loose knot to hold it in place while you get your hat started. So just a simple little tie around to hold it. Then from there you are going to go around this way. Like so. And then continue onto the next peg and go around it. Now make sure that you are not making this too tight or too loose. It's like the Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You have to find just the right amount of slack for it because you're going to have to stretch each of these loops over the next one around the peg. So if you make them too tight, you'll have to start all over. And if you make them too loose, the hat's going to be too loose and it won't fit right. So you just have to gently take the yarn and go around each peg. Not too tight and not too loose. Just gently go around. And when it starts to feel tight, just grab some more of that yarn so that you can continue loosely wrapping. It's really an easy craft project. It's just very tedious because you are repeating the same pattern over and over until the length of the hat is achieved, and then you tie it off. Make sure not to skip any pegs, and then once you get done, you're on this first one, you're going to do it again. You go around twice. Don't do more than twice. You don't need to do it more than twice. And if you see any pegs with more than 2 loops, then you know that you made a mistake. You shouldn't have more than 2 loops per peg. I will leave the comments to this video on so you can ask me questions. I'm just a crafty person that does stuff like this for enjoyment. I'm not a professional, and I do not sell any of my goods for profit. So if you have any doubts, you're welcome to check out your local craft stores and ask a more professional person, but I thought I would go ahead and show you how to do these for fun. Okay, once you get 2 loops around every loom, that's when you want to get out your loom hook. This is what it looks like. You want to take that last one you did, take this bottom loop, carry it over the top loop and over the loom, and then you can let go of the yarn and it will stay in place. And what you're going to do is you're going to work opposite. See, we do counterclockwise when we make the loops. We're going to go clockwise when we use the loom hook. So this is just going to go over. And this is why I said not to make them too tight, because you want them loose enough to be able to go over the top. And when you're first learning this, don't feel rushed. Take your time. If you get tired or bored of it, just put it aside. Come back to it tomorrow or some other time. It's not really one of those quick crafts at first. It would take you a while to get really quick at doing this, but still, no matter what, it is a tedious type of craft with a lot of repetition. So it takes patience. Now, as you can tell, these are looking loose, right? You can see that the yarn back here is loose. That's okay. Not too much more than that, but that is okay because that's loose enough to get the loops to go over each other, which is what you want. Also, it gives you a little bit of flexibility in the hat sizes so that they're not too tight. I have a couple of hats that I've made, and one of them I did a little bit too tight, so when I wear it, I can tell that I made it an exact size versus making it a little bit stretchable compared to my other hats. So as you practice, I would suggest practicing with a small loom just till you get the practice done. And then when you've got it down as far as how loose to keep the yarn, you can upgrade to a larger one. Now you want to push back here all the way down before you do your next set of loops so that they are out of the way. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this yarn, I'm going to grab some more of it. I usually do like an arm's length. And then you're going to take this, and again, counterclockwise. We're going to go from where we left off. See, it's attached to the back of this one. I'm going to go around the next one, and the next one, and do it all over again. Now, just a real quick, because the first loop's already done, you can technically untie this. Because once you do the first round, that extra little piece won't be in the way. So you can just untie this piece. And what you want to do is just sort of push it behind the loom back here. Make it behind it, because as you're working this, the length is going to grow back here, not up here, and you don't want this tied to this because then it will create problems. So I'm just going to keep going around one more time. making sure to keep this little piece out of the way. You don't want it to get mixed up with the other ones. I do apologize if the angle of my camera is off and it makes it hard to see what I'm doing. Hopefully in the next video I will have the angle set up better. Okay, so seeing that this is pulled down out of the way, it's not in any of my loops, I'm going to go ahead and where I have my last loop here, take the bottom and pull it over the top so I can let go of the yarn and it will stay in place. Now, because I've gone ahead and done that first one, if I wanted to rest and take a break, I can step away and come back to it at any time. Just make sure when you're starting that you keep this shorter piece out of the way because it sometimes gets wrapped up and you might mistake it for one of your loops. If you want to cut it shorter, you could. I personally like to leave it long because sometimes I do an extra detail to the hat when I'm done with it, which I can go over in another video. But that's how you start one. And basically, that's the first stitch of the hat. And the more you do, the more of these stitches will come out and make the length of the hat. So I will work on this, and then in the next video, I will show you the length of the hat and how to tie it off. Hopefully, this inspires you to get crafty this spring or summer, and maybe even make some beanies as giftables for this coming Christmas at the end of the year. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, and I will do my best to answer them. One quick thing I want to mention, the type of yarn that I'm using. Here's the details on the yarn type. It's a medium, which I find to be the best type of yarn, and this is the brand that I'm using for this hat, which you can find at Joann's or Michael's, or online. Target and Walmart also sell yarn, and so does Shein.com. So I will see you in the next video. Again, try new things, be creative, have fun, don't get stressed out. Remember, it's meant for fun. And see what new things you can do this year. Again, my focus is to inspire creativity and encourage enthusiasm to trying new things. Hopefully, this video has done that for you. I will see you in the next video. Be safe, be healthy, peace.